This is our second lesson on our solar system and beyond. This lesson, or this video part of the lesson, will be extremely short. I'm just going to do a quick overview of the planets of our solar system, and then I'm going to give you your assignment for the next few days, which is creating a Google Slideshow presentation about all 8 of the planets. So your goal for today is just to get started on your assignment. All right. So we know that our solar system is comprised of our sun, the star that all of the planets revolve around. We've also got 4 inner planets. So right next to the sun, you see Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Those are the 4 inner planets. And the 4 inner planets have lots of similarities between them. What they are made of, the fact that they're smaller than the outer planets, they have a lot of similarities, okay? So we're going to talk about the inner planets first. We're going to talk about those mostly today. And then in the next lesson, we're going to focus more on the outer planets, which are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Again, the 4 outer planets also have lots of similarities between them, what they're made of, that they're bigger, all of those things. So just remember that the inner planets are the first 4 closest to the sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. And then the outer planets are the 4 planets that are the farthest from the sun, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So, as I said, we're going to focus mostly on the inner planets today, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to the outer planets also. So look at this yellow box. The inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, they are terrestrial planets. That's a vocabulary word that means that they have rocky surfaces. So we know that Earth is primarily composed of rocks on its surface. Even underneath the oceans, there's rock underneath there. So along with Earth, Venus, Mars, and Mercury are also rocky surface planets. They are terrestrial. They also share the fact that they have metal cores, and they are generally smaller. Not that any planet is actually small, but relative to the outer planets, the inner planets are much smaller. So now take a look at the blue box down here. The outer planets, which are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, those are gas giants, which means they're not made of rock like the terrestrial planets are. They're made of gases like hydrogen, helium, all those kinds of things. Their cores are made of rock and ice. So Jupiter and Saturn are considered gas giants, and Uranus and Neptune are technically considered ice giants because even the gas on those planets is so cold and so frozen that it's like solid ice. All right. So now that I've introduced you to the inner planets and the outer planets, let's look at what I want you to do for your assignment. For the next few days, you're going to be creating a Google Slides presentation about each of the 8 planets. Just for today, for day 1, we're going to be working on the inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. And then in the next lesson, you're going to be working on the outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. I'm going to be giving you a table of information to pull from. So when you see the table, you're going to see that it's just a bunch of numbers and data and stuff. You're going to turn that into complete sentences. And when you do a slide, I want it to look a little something like this. Now, of course, yours doesn't have to look exactly like this. You can be creative in the picture and the colors and all of that kind of stuff. But this is a general idea of what I want your slides to look like. You have a picture of the planet, you have the name of the planet at the top, and then you've taken the information from the table I'm going to show you, and you're turning it into complete sentences. So if you ever need to come back and see what does she expect my slide to look like, this would be a good example to kind of branch off of. Again, you can make it creative and make it your own. You can even put a GIF in the background so that it's a moving picture. I think those are always super cool. But this is kind of the general idea of what I expect. All right, so down below in this video, you will find an image of the information to include in your Google Slides about your planet. Remember that you're using this information, but you're not just copying what I have. You're putting it into complete sentences. And of course, if you find any additional interesting facts about the planets, because there's lots of cool stuff out there, you are free to include those also. Oh, and I guess I did not put that in there. Okay, so look, just look down below for the table of information, and that will give you everything you need to make your Google Slides.